Hello there addicts, and welcome back to the 99. I'm your host Chiki, and here we are with the third episode of our Deck Tech series. I decided to change a little the format and take less time to explain what does each card do, only their unknown cards, and focus more in the interactions of every card. If you like it, please let me know, or if you prefer me to explain all the cards, also let me know in the comments. Today we're going to take a look at my Storm combo deck that will make a lot of you frown concerned by the commander, but I'll explain it to you. This is the Never Wasted. Mishra Artificed Prodigy is our commander, but if you read his ability, you'll notice something soft. Whenever you cast an artifact spell, you may search your graveyard, hand, and/or library for a card with the same name as that spell and put it into play. But in Commander, we only play one card of each, so how we will use it? It's of course an artifact-based deck, but I made it Storm too, and believe me, Mishra's ability is what makes everything possible. What's the plan? To ramp us crazy and Storm for a kill. We run a lot of mana rocks in this deck. They do not only ramp us, but enable us to do the rest of things we plan to do. Our 1-drop mana rocks are Sol Ring and Mana Vault. Sol Ring is a must, and Mana Vault can be a little expensive, but is really good in a deck like this. The 2 drops are Mind Stone, which also let us draw a card, as well as Talisman of Dominance, Talisman of Indulgence, Fractured Power Stone, and Thought Vessel. The real meat, however, are the 3 cost mana rocks. First, Chromatic Lantern to make sure we don't get stuck in color. We need to have the right color in the right moment, especially in early game to cast Mishra, so the Chromatic Lantern is pretty useful. Then we have Commander Sphere. A lot of our mana rocks can be sacrificed, so I'm going to skip that part of them. We have Darksteel Ingot, Dimir Cluestone, Dimir Keyrune, Izzet Cluestone, Izzet Keyrune, Kolaghan Monument, Obelisk of Grixis, Rakdos Cluestone, Rakdos Keyrune, and Silumgar Monument as our 3 cost rocks. We have Heart of Ramos, Eye of Ramos, and Skull of Ramos too, which can be also sacrificed for an extra mana. Then we go for our 4 drops that are Hedron Archive and Thran Dynamo. And finally, our most expensive mana rock is Dreamstone Hedron for 6 mana. I already included the new mana rocks from this new set that are Dimir Locket, Izzet Locket, and Rakdos Locket that one doesn't even exist yet. But they are amazing because they can make you draw 4 cards if we pay the cost, so that's really good. Even if we have a lot of mana rocks, we're gonna get greedy and make everything cost less to cast. The cheapest and fastest to cast are Helm of Awakening and Ethereum Sculptor. However, the Helm helps our opponents too, so we have to check when we want to play safely. Herald of Kozilek reduces the cost of our artifacts by 1, the same goes for Cloud Key, Stone Calendar, and the Immortal Sun. Semblance Anvil reduces the cost by 2 if we imported an artifact, and if we have Mishra in play, Blood Funnel reduces the cost for an additional 2. How does this work? When you have Mishra and Blood Funnel and you cast an artifact, you will let it be countered. Then Mishra's ability will trigger and search for the artifact in the graveyard and put it on the battlefield. When everything costs almost free, we need stuff to get us draw. Vedalken Archmage, Joyra Weatherlight Captain, and Null Profusion let us draw when we cast an artifact, and we also run Future Sight to play the top of the library. Once we have cast a lot of spells in a single turn, we will play something with Storm to kill our opponents. Aetherflux Reservoir isn't technically Storm, but it can kill really easily anyone. Ignite Memories will be able to deal severe damage to a player unless they are really lucky and has too much lands in hand. Mind Desire can make the whole thing go crazy, enabling more Storm casts. And Temporal Fissure will return everything to their owner's hands. We want to exploit not only the number of spells we cast in a turn, but also Mishra's ability itself. Once we have Mishra in play, we can play Planar Chaos to counter all spells if they fail the coin flip. But our artifacts don't care about that, because Mishra recovers them. I wanted to include Nether Void in the deck too, but that shit costs like $900 and that's way too much. Fuck the reserve list. That's the same reason why I play Noonstone Gargoyle. It counters the first creature spell each turn, and that can put our opponents in a very difficult situation. But the real gold play is Possibility Storm. Whenever a player casts a spell, they exile a card from the top of their library until they reveal a card that shares a type with the spell cast. They cast the second spell, and the first one as well as the other revealed cards go to the bottom of the library. With Mishra on the battlefield, you get what the Possibility Storm gave you, and also you get the original artifact you cast, because Mishra's ability will search it in the library. This not only doubles our cast numbers because Possibility Storms are cast, but this increases the number of mana rocks we have in play and the number of everything we have. Normally, when I play Possibility Storm, it's a guaranteed win if I have at least one thing that makes me draw. As we mentioned, Blood Funnel counters our own stuff, so we play Lul Mage Mentor to get tokens from it, and either counter our opponent's stuff or have creatures to sacrifice to other non-creature spells and non-artifact spells we play. We play Mycosynth Lattice to make everything colorless in the hands and everything artifacts on the battlefield, and because we run some really good cards that interact greatly with it. First, Unwinding Clock by itself is a really good card, but with Lattice it untaps everything we have. Hellkite Tyrant destroys an opponent, stealing all their permanents. Besides, it makes us win during the upkeep if we have 20 more permanents. Treasure Naver borrows our opponent's permanents that add mana. If we have already in play Krark-Clan Ironworks, they won't be likely to tap for mana, their lands or anything, because as we steal it, we use it and then we can sacrifice them. And on a related note, I don't play this, but if you wanna add this to a deck, you can also play with Sundial of the Infinite. So before the end of turn, you end your turn with the Sundial, and the triggered ability of the Treasure Naver wouldn't trigger at all, so the cards are yours forever. Anyway, continue with the deck. Ice Cave let us counter everything our opponents play, and as we don't care about our artifacts being countered, we are fine with it. And if we want to be really mean, an overloaded Vandal Blast destroy everything our opponents control. We play Paradox Engine, which usually means enough mana to cast anything, and it enables our tap to activate artifacts too, like Planar Bridge, which gets any permanent to play, or Oracle Vault, which lets you cast the top card of your library for free if you have 3 bricks counters already. So as long as the top is not a land, you can cast everything just by tapping it. With Joira, Vedalken Archmage, or Null Profusion in play, any 2 mana rocks that we can cast for free, and Words of Wind, we have an infinite combo to make all our opponents return their board to their hands. It works like this. You cast one of the mana rocks, which triggers the draw. You tap the other mana rock for the mana, and instead of drawing, you activate the Words of Wind to make everyone returns a permanent to hand. You return that mana rock, and the other one enters the battlefield, and you are right at the beginning, so you repeat again. Also, as we get sometimes our artifacts to be basically free to cast, Spine of Ish Sah and Krark-Clan Ironworks destroy all of our opponent's permanents. Well, we mentioned all the artifacts that add mana, so we're not going to touch them here, we're only talk about lands. We only play 27 lands, 9 of which are basic, 3 of each swamp, island and mountain. We play Barrymore, Forgotten Cave and Lowly Sandbar to cycle for 1 color, Polluted Mire, Remote Isle, and Smoldering Crater that cycle for 2 colorless, Blighted Cataract paid 6 and sacrifice to draw 2 cards, Great Furnace, Seat of the Synod, and Vault of Whispers get untapped with Unwinding Clock, Command Tower, Crumbling Necropolis, and Transguild Promenades add mana of any color we need, while Darkwater Catacombs and Shadowblow Reach filters us for 2 colors, Temple of the False God for 2 mana. Bahukawok is, as I said in the last video, a must in any deck that plays black, as it removes all cards from a graveyard when it enters. And finally, Halimar Depths is a must in decks with blue, which let us see and order the top 3 cards of our library. We run no ramp spells here, all our mana rocks. We have nothing that search our library for land. For control, we already mentioned some, but we also run a duplicant in case someone has a really nasty creature we want to take away. To draw, besides the one already mentioned, we run Book of Rass, which let us pay 2 life and 2 mana to draw a card. The cards for drawing are usually used to remove lands from the top in case we need something extra for future sight, but also let us keep a big hand to cast anything we want. We also have the mana rocks that load themselves for cards, and we have Lure Seeker Stone, which by paying 3 plus the number of cards in your hand lets you draw 3 cards, and Tower of Fortunes, which by paying 8 mana you draw 4 cards. To empower the draws, we run Alamaret's Archive to double the draws. For protection, we run only the Lightning Greaves, but the Immortal Sun also helps us in case of our opponents playing Planeswalkers. We still have some more artifacts to cover. We run Elixir of Immortality, in case we get milled or a card we need ends up in the graveyard. We run Mirrorworks, that let us copy any artifact we play by paying 2 mana. So if we have already Mycosynth Lattice in play, and for example we play a land, we can tap for 2 and we have another land. Then we have Sculpting Steel and Phyrexian Metamorph that enter as a copy of any artifact, usually something that make the other artifacts cost less. And finally, Vedalken Orrery let us play our things at instant speed. We mentioned already all the creatures except for Trophy Mage, which tutors Cloud King. If we already have Cloud Key, we will tutor any mana rock. We have a lot of 3 cost mana rocks, so it will always be useful. We already covered all the enchantments, and we have no miscellaneous cards, so that will be the deck. If you play this deck, or are similar to this, always count the number of spells that you play even if you have nothing at the moment you play them, because at any moment you can get a starve card and then you have to go back and see how many spells did I cast, so it's better to keep counting in every turn if you have nothing. Also, another thing you have to consider is that some turns can take a little too long and people can get a little bored. Anyway, the deck is really fun to play, and yeah, Possibility Storm makes the game completely different. Your opponents won't have any answer that they have planned, and their creatures become another creatures. The only thing that they are sure they're going to cast is the commander, so yeah, I really like this deck. I hope you enjoyed the video. Let me know your thoughts in the comments, hit the like and subscribe. I upload every Wednesday, so hit the bell to get notified. And meanwhile, follow me on social media. I'm going to leave the links in the description. And thank you for watching, and see you next time.